Ergonomic software is fast growing in popularity for workstation training and assessment. But just how useful is it? We asked John Abbott, Managing Director of Cardinus Risk Management, a provider of ergonomic management software.
Hi, my name is John Abbott and I head up the Safety and Ergonomics division within Cardinus Risk Management. Cardinus Risk Management is an end-to-end risk management company specialising in dealing with both the strategic and operational risks within organisations of any size. Well, this is a really easy question to answer because there's just so many benefits of using software over and above more traditional forms of managing your DSE program. For me, I guess the most obvious and probably the most topical are the cost efficiencies you can gain from using software. What I'm seeing with a lot of my clients right now is their health and safety budgets are being squeezed, as are their training budgets. And while this is going on, we're also seeing a real change to the type of workforce that they're working with. We have more home workers nowadays who are using laptops, PDAs, Blackberries and other types of new devices. And so while our budgets are being squeezed, we simply don't have the resources to train people properly and make sure that they can identify and mitigate the risk for themselves. And this is really where software comes into its own. For a relatively small amount of money, we can reach out to large groups of people, make sure they're properly educated, but also ensure they have a competency to identify this risk and to take the actions they need to mitigate this risk for themselves. My personal passion, though, is the more strategic level of cost efficiencies. With Cardinus Risk Management, we've been looking for a number of years at ergonomic discomfort and trying to look at how this has an impact on your lost time productivity. Working with our clients, we're able to evidence real cost savings, real return on investment, and a lot of our clients are seeing real shareholder value as a result of their DSE program. Well, there's actually no risk to using software in itself. The real risk comes from how you manage it. What we see with a lot of our clients is that they're implementing software because their ergonomics program up until this stage has either been very poor or non-existent. So the first time they'll roll out with an ergonomics program, they'll quite often see a spike in their risk because we'll be uncovering issues that have been bubbling away for the last 2, 3, 4 years. So it's really important that you look at your entire program based around the software. How are you communicating your ergonomics message? Why should people do the course in the first place? What about project management? How are we deciding the rollout strategy to make sure that we've got the resources in place that we need to manage the risk when it's identified? Again, here at Cardinus Risk Management, we have a huge amount of experience. We have a number of customer services managers who will go in and look at your organisational structure, look at your project management strategy around your DSE program, regardless of whether it's software, and just help you to secure a good software rollout, regardless of whether it's our program or not. Well, this is slightly more difficult to answer because there's no quantifiable evidence that software actually works better than your more traditional forms of DSE management. And that's quite often because your DSE costs are hidden within the business. Your DSE assessors aren't typically paid for the role that they do. Occupational health will undertake DSE management as part of a wider function. What we can evidence, though, is real cost efficiencies through your administration function. You're trying to roll out in the main to large groups of people. You have a big administrative nightmare in trying to pull back all of your ergonomic risk assessments, make sure they're properly managed, and any risks that are identified are properly mitigated. With software, what you end up with is a database platform. So we can quickly identify your issues, we can make sure that risks are being properly mitigated through the right processes, and more importantly, you can audit this as well. So should an enforcement officer call in, you're able to produce all of your results and evidence the success of your program quite easily. I can discuss two. The first is an engineering company based out of Southern California. Now, this organisation has been using our product, Workstation Safety Plus, for a number of years. Within the first 2 years of using the software, they were able to evidence a reduction in ergonomic injuries of 50%. Over and above that, and more impressively, they recorded a reduction in injury-related costs of 75%. Now, this organisation is a self-insured, so to be able to reduce costs on such a huge level really did have a big impact on the bottom line of that organisation. Now, here in the UK, our success criteria is slightly different. What we look for is compliance figures and how you are achieving 100% or very near to 100% of your ergonomic training and risk assessment data. We do have a number of government departments and equally within the private sector, a number of very large organisations who, if they're not recording 100% success, are getting very close to it. Workstation Safety Plus, I would say right now, is probably the most widely used ergonomics management program. At the front end and the end that your users get to see, your employees get to see, we have a portal. And it's really a communications portal where you can explain your ergonomic messages to your employees. Probably more importantly though, it's their portal to communicate back to you. And it provides good, effective and qualified e-learning. There's various self-assessment modules available in different types of format to suit your audience. The whole basis behind Workstation Safety Plus, though, is self-help and helping your employees to mitigate the risk for themselves. As an organisation, you'll never have the resources to deliver a truly first-class ergonomics programme. And with Workstation Safety Plus, we want to devolve some of this responsibility down through your DSE assessor network, through your supervisors and line managers, to your employees. Behind the front end of the system, we have a very powerful management system called PACE, and PACE really puts you in control of your DSE program. So as well as collecting all of your training and your self-assessment data, you can quickly identify those people who need intervention, and then through a process of tasking, we can make sure that risk mitigation is undertaken in the most appropriate manner. Uniquely to Cardinus, we do provide on-site assessment intervention as well. So if you have outside assessors coming in to manage your risk, they'll be fully supported through Workstation Safety Plus and PACE. There's a number of ways in which you can reach out to us. In Europe, we can be contacted through our website, www.cardinus.com, or by telephone 0207 469 0200. In the United States, contact us on 866 966 3420, or through our US website, which is ergonomics-experts.com, or by email info@cardinus.com.